Hello everybody, Sunday Elijah here. I want to welcome you back to our training and teaching on Africans. What is wrong with the Africans? Are Africans evil? Are they cursed? Are black people cursed? And no, you will not believe it. When you begin to know history and who they are, it shows you who they will become and how the greatness that is in this race. So nothing is wrong with the African. And let's go ahead and study today. And the topic of today that I'm going to be examining is after we have done the influence of Africans in Europe, now we're going to the Americas. And so today's topic is Africans in America before Columbus. Africans in America before Columbus. Africans in America before Columbus. So please go ahead and share the message. Share, and let us go. The first civilization on the territory of America, South and North America, was the Olmec civilization. Olmecs were an ancient nation of Mesoamerica located on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. Here, Olmec. So these were the ruled. The Olmecs were culture of ancient peoples 1,300, 400 before BC, that is years before, 1,300 years before Christ, of the East Mexico lowlands. This ancient American culture is considered to be the first civilization in Western Hemisphere, as they surpassed their neighbors in their attempt to solve a number of issues of cohabitation. They resolved the problem of government, defense, religion, family, property, science, and art. As a result of this attempt, Olmecs laid the foundation of the classical Mesoamerican civilization. So this is what they built. It's amazing, the greatness of this civilization, just like it was in Europe and Mediterranean and in Egypt. They had their pyramids too, and we'll go back to that. So this pyramid is, you remember where the first pyramids were built? They were built in Kush, or in Nubia, or in the present-day Ethiopia, or present-day Sudan, which used to be called Ethiopia. So that is where the building of pyramids started. Then it was perfected in Egypt. So, and everywhere where you see pyramids, you will see that it is because Africans have been there, because they had the technology of how to do that. We cannot say with full certainty where Olmecs came from, or whether they were direct descendants of the native population, but many of the sculptures, especially giant heads, point to a clear and undeniable presence of Africans on American territory in antiquity. Well, this is what science is saying, you know, but archaeology, science, anthropology. But I personally believe that the Bible gives us the key to where those people came from, how they happen to be there, and black people happen to be there. Like I said, that in the days of Peleg, you remember Peleg, we spoke about Peleg, the lands were divided. So before the lands were divided, these people had succeeded in migrating all over the earth, including to that northern part of America and that side of the land before the flood, and before maybe after the flood, sorry. This was after the flood, but before the earth was divided, they had succeeded in migrating to those places. So there is no way you could say these are not African faces. So how did this kind of statue and heads get to North America and Mexico before Colombia? This was a long time before Colombia, before Christ. So this is also a confirmation that my theory is probably right. I don't think they sailed through the ocean but I think they were already there by the time the land divided. That's what I think. But scientists are trying to say maybe it's the cross of the ocean happened. But the Africans that were there, that are depicted here, they are depicted as the kings, as the rulers. Kings and rulers. And see how big. I mean, see the man standing. The man is about 1 meter something, 1 meter 8, 1 meter 7. And the head is about 2 meters high. Just that statue. It's amazing. And see the nose, see the lips. Definitely African. According to Professor Ivan von SERTIMA of Rutgers University in the United States, the Olmec civilization was not an African colony, but Africans were a small top-class community with a lot of influence among the Olmecs. At the same time, Aztec wise men told Spanish monk Zahugun, they told a story, they narrated to them. So what did they tell the Hispanics that came? A long time ago, these are the Indians that are telling this story. A long time ago, in times that no one remembers, there was one mighty nation in these lands. Before that, people wandered for a long time in search of the promised land. First, in large numbers, they arrived on their boats to the North Shore, and the place where they left their boat is called Panutla, present-day city in the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. In the northern part of Veracruz state, they started moving along the water's edge. They moved not in their own free will. They were guided by priests, and God showed them the way. Finally, they reached Tamuancan land and founded their kingdom. So this is their own story, right, about how those Africans came to establish their civilization. Norwegian researcher THOR HEYERDAHL proved similarities between Egyptians and Olmec civilization. And Egyptian civilization is talking about, it's not talking about present Egypt, it's talking about ancient Egypt, which was black people. Pyramids, so there were pyramid there are pyramid in Africa, there are pyramid here. A highly developed system of hieroglyphic writing, similarities of fresco paintings in temples and tombs, similar temple designs and subtle megalithic colonnades, existence of cyclopic human figures made of stone, amazing knowledge in astronomy, and a highly developed calendar system in Mexico and Egypt, incredibly perfect practice of trephination of human skull, a similar Egyptian-Peruvian custom of mummification. Thus, he indicated the influence that centers of culture that appeared in Africa and spread in other regions had on pre-Columbia America. You see, so these scientists also considered that all these features of the culture that are similarities, that they first, if you go by the architectural discovery, those features were first discovered in Africa, and the oldest of all these points were first in Africa, and they were replicated in other places. They were first started in Nubia, replicated in Egypt, then Mediterranean, then until it got to this place, Europe and Asia and America. In addition, he noted that scientists did not detect the evolutionary development of American culture, but that the ancient American civilization was on the basis of the available data introduced from the outside. So it's not scientists that discovered this, it's the people who came into that place who introduced that culture. So he himself conducted an experiment and built a boat of papyrus based on an ancient Egyptian model that had been acquired in Ethiopia and had come from Africa through the Atlantic Ocean to Barbados, close to South American continent. So this is the papyrus boat he built. And this kind of boats was they started building them first in Ethiopia. Then later on, they took that from Egypt. Egypt took that from Ethiopia. And then, so that's what he was trying to experiment to see if this is how they built it to take them from Africa to America. By doing so, he proved that in prehistoric times, African seafarers had been able to make transatlantic journeys into the New World through the Canary Current. I personally believe that it is the factor of Peleg, the Peleg factor that is at work here. That the land, they were already there before the land was divided. You see another head? I mean, there's an African head right here. In 1869, a note by J.M. Melgar appeared in the Bullet of the Mexican Geographical and Statistical Society. He stated that in 1862, on sugarcane plantation near Tres Zapotes village, Veracruz, he had been fortunate to discover an amazing sculpture. Not like any other known until then, the head of an African carved out of stone. This was 1869, they discovered this. The note had an illustration. In 1871, Melgar declared, "I am absolutely convinced that Negroes went to these lands more than once, even in the first era of creation of the world." You see, this is now coming closer to my own theory of Peleg. The Olmec civilization flourished on the territory of present-day Mexican states of Veracruz and Tabasco. The culmination of its development was a 800-year period from 1200 to 400 BC in La Venta, one of its centers. The so-called Big Pyramid was formed. 33 meters high, it was the largest building in the city. See the pyramid here. Africans dramatically entered into a crucial period of this Mesoamerican civilization. A series of 17 giant stone heads with strong African features stand out. Most of all, the largest of them weighed 40 tons. So those heads, African heads, there were 17 of them, giant, 40 tons. Can you imagine how much it would take to have built that and carved that out? According to archaeologist Matthew Sterling, who conducted crucial excavations of this civilization, they are images of the most outstanding Olmec leaders. So the black people were their kings and rulers perpetuated in stone. One of them was called the head of an Ethiopian, you see. Ethiopian means black. Perhaps the depicted Africans were rulers or royal priesthood, or they were worshipped as gods. In all of this, it is important that Africans ended up in the Western Hemisphere neither as a thing or property, nor as a commodity or slaves, but as masters in control of their own destiny. The Olmec civilization is universally regarded as the pioneer civilization of America. Beginning around 1500 BC, it existed until the beginning of the Christian era. It had a profound impact on all subsequent civilizations, including Maya, Totonac, Zapotec, and Aztec. Olmecs were the first in America to transport huge stone objects, to use the calendar, transport huge stone objects, to use the calendar, to build pyramids, to practice astronomy. They even had organized sport. They were able to install a large basalt lump, a stone head, in Tres Zapotes, although the nearest deposit of such stone was several dozen kilometers away. You see, they transported it. You see, they built like that head like this and transport them with an unique technology. Such a task would have bewildered even modern engineers, while Olmecs did this without the help of wheeled transport and draught animals, since they had none. Based on writings found by archaeologists, a strong conclusion was reached that Mayan priests had borrowed their incredibly accurate calendar from their western neighbors, Olmecs. The first plumbing of America was discovered. It was a U-shaped drainage system which successfully operated at the time of discovery, having been built 3,000 years earlier. Wow. And it was still working. This was before Jesus or Columbus or anybody, and it's still working. It was working when they found it. In addition, it is to be noted that even when Columbus discovered America for Europeans, Africans did not sail to America in slave shackles. Africans participated in early expeditions of Spaniards to the territory of present-day United States of America, even in the team of Columbus. The most famous of them was Estevanico, who discovered for Europeans rich lands of present-day Arizona and New Mexico. Africans accompanied Columbus, Vasco de Balboa, who founded the first European city in America, and Fernando Cortez, who conquered Mexico. We discovered some amazing facts. Africans brought civilization to Europe, fundamentally influenced the culture of ancient Greece, inhabited the territories of various European states, had a cultural, military, and political influence on the Roman Empire, and also discovered America long before Europeans and had an impact on its civilization. So this is the story of Africans in America for you. And we're going to show you a video before we go, but before then, please go and share this message. Share. And as you share it, I would also like to invite you to join our mentorship program, which is sundaydelajablog.com/mentorship. It's for free. If you want to get my books, you can get them also on the same sundaydelajablog.com/books. If you want to go with us to Africa, to Nigeria, to build a greater Africa, just go to the same blog, sundaydelajablog.com, only/Nigeria this time. If you want to come here to learn and to study and go through History Makers training with me, it's sundaydelajablog.com/HMT, History Makers training. So, but if you want to read my books for free, you can do that by going to Amazon and Kindle Unlimited. And it's, you can read for free on Kindle Unlimited, but buy the books on Amazon. So we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Since the late 1630s, the people of color in America have been struggling with the actual account of their true identities. After being labeled a race of people under certain classifications based upon skin hue, the complexity of learning their background, heritage, and culture was relied upon the Western European settlers that won the hundreds of war invasions that took place immediately in the year 1492 and beyond. The inability of governments of America and Europe to come to grips with their dark past and allow the Aborigines, who are natives to the land of America, as well as the descendants of everyone else involved, the healing required to move forward is not only a denial of basic human rights, but a telltale sign of the type of current racism, economic neglect, and mistreatment that will surely come to light during this generation of life. The threads of these ancient cultures of the Aborigine people, having existed here for tens of thousands of years prior to the arrival of the Europeans, must be preserved, strengthened, and woven back into a quilt that tells the unique story of not only their past, but of their bright future as well. The reasons for this runs much deeper than one may assume. One reason being, we have thousands of ancient history records, artifacts, tombstones, and hieroglyphics, etc., all in Africa. But to really put the full puzzle together, one must learn the facts of the actual accounts of the Aborigines of America, because they are the direct ancestors of the now called African Americans. In today's America, we are witnessing the now called Native Americans battle against the federal government over the Dakota pipeline. They are protesting because of the government's approval of this pipeline forces the removal of hundreds of their ancestors' respectful and sacred cemeteries from the land. But actions like this are not uncommon by the federal government. In fact, The immigration of native Indians of this land started in 1492, and one untold example of that took place in the year of 1838. At that time, the federal government began forced removal of any Cherokee Indian and or Creek Indian families who had neither applied for state citizenship nor moved to their newly established Indian territory in the state of Oklahoma on their own. Crude stockades were constructed to temporarily contain captured Creek and Cherokee families until they could be quickly relocated outside of the state of Georgia. One of those stockades was on the Etowah River near Canton in Cherokee County, Georgia. Nearly all Cherokee family cemeteries have been removed by late 1839 except for a couple, due to the fact that there were very few Cherokees in Cobb County, Georgia that actually went on the Trail of Tears. A large cemetery of Indian slaves, or rather Aborigine people of America, located in Marietta, Georgia, that dates from approximately 1812 to the 1880s, has not been removed, and it's very essential to the history of the Aborigines. I personally asked a few of my good military friends to ask any ranking soldier, preferably someone of Aborigine descent, to go to this location for me and record what it actually looks like, due to the fact that it's gated up and it's off limits to the public for obvious reasons.
So some of the people that's been working here for a while, they informed me this morning that there was an actual cemetery on base where slaves were buried. And I'm like, what? Like, seriously, there's a cemetery where slaves were buried that we could go and visit? So I was like, you gotta take me. You have to take me. So I'm out here right now, y'all, and I kind of want you guys to go like on a journey with me. I'm going into the actual gate right now. Let me see if I can turn this around. So I'm going into the actual gate. They have it gated off right now. From what I heard, they've been trying to clear it and find more grave sites, but they need help in clearing it. You see, it's all like covered in debris and just not manicured or anything like that right now. But they said where the red flags are, if you guys can see the red flags, that's where the actual people are buried that don't have tombstones. But some of these, y'all, look at this. This is crazy, y'all. Some of these really have tombstones. I'm going to show you guys right now. This is crazy. So this is the first one, you guys. I think the name is Annie Robinson, and she was born in 1823, died December 17, 1892. This is like such an amazing, you know, anybody that knows me knows I'm like extremely happy right now, because this is you know, this is rare. Like, this is a part of our history, our culture, and you know, we have to learn about this stuff. We have to know about this stuff. We have to know what where we came from. This one right here, this person was born April 20th, 1891. I can't make out the name. Last name is definitely Moore, though. I can make that out. It looks as if it's two people, somebody and Rosa Moore. So I'm not, let me see if I can go a little further back for you guys. Like, I'm actually standing on the grounds in the cemetery, walking around. Look at this one back here. He's making his own video. This is like absolutely amazing. Did you find anything else? Is it? I'm on my way. Oh gosh. Y'all should see what I'm walking through right now. Like, this is crazy. Oh gosh. Oh. Y'all, if I fall, oh shoot. Please don't laugh at me if I fall, y'all. But you alright? What'd you find? Uh-huh. Oh, great. So look, all these red flags, y'all, are where people were actually, where our ancestors are actually buried. So this tombstone right here is kind of leaning a little bit. Let me see if I can push it. Oh Lord, push it up so you guys can. Rebecca Bedford, and she was born May 11th, 1868, and died December 20th, 1908. And it just has our mother on that one. And it's a few more, you know, back here, but this whole area, if you guys, I don't know if you can see like one of my co-workers back there, he said the graves go as far as back as he is right now. And oh my God, I'm just overly excited right now. I really need to calm this thing down, and we really need to get this cleaned up. I don't know who owns our installation. That's probably something I need to find out. Or I heard that there was a team that come out here and they trying to put a team together to come help take care of this, because this is something that should be cherished and cleaned up. And oh my God, so this lady, Miss Jackson, was born April 17, 1930. Let me just put that out there. That's one day before my birthday. Let me see what hers say. Faithful until death.
This is no longer a secret. These are our ancestors. I'm just here to make you think.